Good evening, it's meteorologist Michael Fecka. Welcome back to the 9 p.m. all-weather, all-streaming show that we do here every night during the workdays and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms, including Facebook and YouTube. So if you're joining from either place, please feel free to leave us a question or a comment. Hopefully I'll be able to go through them all as I go through the forecast, but if not, I'll go through at the very end and see if I can answer anything individually for you. So let's get started here with a look at what we're tracking out through the next couple of days. Well, we have increasing cloud cover here through the rest of this evening, all out ahead of that cold front that's going to be sliding in overnight tonight. And along that front, that'll bring us the chance for a big drop in our temperatures and a few scattered showers and perhaps a few thunderstorms. Then behind that front, we will cool down significantly Friday night and into Saturday, and then we start to gradually warm up through the second half of the weekend and into next week. So the roller coaster ride of temperatures continues here across the tri-state as we round out the month of March. But let's get a look at the current status of that cold front and what's happening. We've got that front now beginning to slide in across portions of central Illinois, Indiana, and even out towards Ohio. And along the leading edge of that front, it is kicking up some of those showers and storms. We've got a couple of T-storm warnings there through central Illinois and even out towards eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania. Here in the tri-state, though, it is fairly quiet. But the areas that are seeing those warnings right now, that is kind of where they were outlooked to see those warnings, kind of right in the bullseye area there with that level 3 enhanced risk. Here in the tri-state, though, we're sitting at mostly this marginal risk to the north of the I-64 corridor, with the rest of us just outlooked for general thunderstorms. So severe weather not really anticipated here in the tri-state. Those storms will significantly weaken as they move in from the north, but you can't completely rule out an isolated strong to severe storm there along the northern fringes of our viewing area, and I'll break down those details in a moment. But as of right now, again, it's pretty dry. We don't really have any issues. We are noticing an increase in that cloud cover, a few spotty showers far off to the northwest through central Illinois, but all is well here in the tri-state. And looking at the future radar here, kind of just tracking out that front and that chance for some of those showers. That front, similar to what happened here over the weekend, gets well out ahead of any showers or storms. So it cools us down and kind of weakens the instability that we would have in place for any kind of severe weather. And those showers and storms don't really look to push into the northern portion of the tri-state until between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. So late overnight tonight into very early Friday is when we're expecting them to begin to move in. And then they kind of slide in from north to south very slowly and weaken significantly. And they also are going to decrease in coverage. So we'll have a few spotty showers through Friday afternoon before they clear off to our south, headed into Friday evening. So overall, just a few spotty showers, a drearier Friday, at least through the first half of the day. And then that sunshine will break back out later in the day before it sets, but it is going to be a lot cooler out there, so not as nice as it was earlier today. You know, we had plentiful sunshine, temperatures in the 80s. It was breezy though. We had gusts over 30 miles per hour, and then headed into the weekend, we'll dry out with high pressure in place. Now, in terms of that very low severe weather risk that we have, if we do see a stronger storm push into the northern portions of the viewing area there, we would mostly be concerned for some small hail or some gusty winds. So nothing to really get too crazy about here. I think most of these are just going to be your ordinary showers with a few rumbles of thunder. Now that front is still off to our north, so winds are a bit breezy still out of the southwest, still seeing gusts upwards of 20 miles per hour out towards Sturgis, closer to 30 up towards Mount Carmel. But it's that southwesterly wind direction that really helped warm us up this afternoon. We topped out at around 87 degrees here in the Evansville area. So the previous record was smashed by a long shot. Our previous record for today was 81, set back in 2020. And we're running around 20 to 30 degrees average across the tri-state with that big warm up. But that cold front will bring some big changes. Right now, temperatures have already settled down, mostly into the mid 70s, 75 degrees here in Evansville, 77 in Newburgh, 73 out towards Owensboro, 76 there in Henderson. And looking at our wind gust forecast, it'll still be breezy out there. there through the next couple of hours. And then that actual surface front moves in by around midnight or just after. So then we're going to see a dip down in those wind speeds before they kind of pick back up again out of the northwest or out of the north. So that's what's going to help pull in that cooler air. And looking at our 12-hour temperatures here, you'll drop down into the upper 40s to around 50 degrees by the time we're waking up early tomorrow morning. So our highs for tomorrow will likely be met by around midnight tonight. So that's typically how these work when these fronts come in the overnight hours. Our highs are in the very, very beginning of the day while most of us are sleeping. And then when we step outside, it's only going to be in the upper 40s to around 50. And through tomorrow afternoon, we may only tack on a few degrees, topping out in the lower 50s for our afternoon temperatures, not necessarily our highs. But with the afternoon moving through, we could see a couple of more scattered showers before they kind of dry up headed into Friday evening. And then high pressure builds in nicely behind that front for Friday night and through the rest of the weekend. So it is going to be a nice quiet weekend here. Still very chilly. I think the chilliest time period here is going to be Friday night into Saturday morning. Temperatures will drop all the way down into the lower 30s. So I know a lot of you have maybe started gardening for the spring, put out your spring flowers, potted plants and things like that. You definitely want to bring them in or cover them up Friday night into Saturday because they could suffer some damage from those colder temperatures. But then we warm right back up into the low to mid 50s for our Saturday. Plentiful sunshine just on the cooler side. Then we warm back up into the upper 60s to nearly 70 degrees by the time we get into Sunday. However, we will notice some cloud cover out there. Partly cloudy skies are expected for our Sunday, but still a pretty nice day, nice weekend in general to get out and do anything. But looking at our temperature trend, the warm up continues even beyond the weekend. We'll climb up through the 70s to nearly 80 degrees Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then it looks like we'll have another shot at some showers there, spotty showers there on Wednesday, maybe more so in the way of a few showers and thunderstorms by the time we get into Thursday, as we do have another cold front that will kind of slide in here. But in terms of beyond the next 7 days, looking at our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, we are still expected to remain above average for those temperatures, and it looks like that weather pattern getting a little bit more active towards the end of next week and into the beginning of April. So it looks like we'll have multiple opportunities for measurable rainfall. So the Climate Prediction Center has gone ahead and outlooked us there for some above average precipitation through that first week of April. Now, looking at our precip chances outside of tomorrow, our next best chance for rain, of course, is going to be Wednesday and into Thursday. We'll have some spotty shower chances there Monday and Tuesday there. I think this is mostly just some heating of the day type action during the afternoon, maybe there in the Tuesday afternoon as well, mostly 2 hours south. But it's not until we get into Wednesday that we see this cold front begin to slide in here. That'll bring us a chance for some more scattered showers, perhaps a few thunderstorms. And then another system kind of rides up and along the coattails of that cold front and brings us another round of rain headed into Thursday before we dry out headed into Friday. So a little bit more of an active pattern towards the end of next week, but as of right now, we're just keeping an eye on things. We don't have any alerts out for anything that far out in advance. You can't really nail down anything beyond that 5-day period. So we'll keep an eye on anything. If there's any severe weather threats that emerge, of course, we'll let you know with those alert days. But let me go ahead and take this full screen, and while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and check out some of your comments. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Suzanne says it was a beautiful day out there. Yes, it was gorgeous. Hopefully you were able to take advantage of it, get outside, go for a walk. Ariel says good evening. Braden says hi, Michael. He also asked, what is a supercell? Well, that's a good question. A supercell is a thunderstorm, essentially a strong thunderstorm that is pretty self-sustaining. So the difference between a supercell and per se a typical run-of-the-mill thunderstorm is that the dynamics, especially in the upper levels of the atmosphere, kind of force that storm to be more self-sustaining. So supercells can last for hours on end, whereas a typical thunderstorm may only bubble up for about 30 minutes and then collapse due to the conditions not being as favorable for any self-sustaining thunderstorms. And from supercells, oftentimes you get those severe characteristics like hail, gusty winds, or even tornadoes, depending on if they're discrete supercells. Sometimes you get a line of supercells that form into a line of actual storms that becomes more of a damaging wind threat. So there's a couple of ways supercells can impact you, but in terms of what an actual supercell is, it's pretty much just a very strong, long-lasting thunderstorm. But good question. Let's see. Ricky says hello. Jodette says good evening. Sierra Bell says, let me guess, another year on April 2nd, we're getting severe weather. Not necessarily. We don't have any severe weather outlooks just yet, but it is April. It will be in April, so not too surprising if we do have any severe weather threats headed into next month. That's kind of our peak month for severe weather. Kelly Schaefer asking, no severe weather tonight? No, I'm thinking most of these showers and storms are going to be pretty harmless. Again, if you live north of I-64, as those storms move in from the north, they may hold on to a slight wind threat or even some small hail, but they will be significantly weakening as they push into the tri-state, so not too much of a concern. William asking an interesting question. Being from Maine, have you ever seen snow rollers? I'm not sure what exactly a snow roller is. Are you talking about like if it just snowed and it was windy and then sometimes you get those little like rolls of snow that kind of form on hills or whatnot? Is that what you're talking about? I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. But no, I actually have not seen any snow rollers, but I do know they are a pretty cool phenomenon. It looks like you said you were in Michigan and you would see them all the time. So that's pretty cool. No, I was only in Maine for about 2 years, so I didn't really get to see all of the crazy cool winter weather. Yeah, they're wind-blown snowballs pretty much. No, I haven't seen them, but I have seen pictures of them, so I do know what you're talking about. But that is all the questions I'm seeing. Donna says, thank you for the forecast. You are all very welcome. But I am going to send you guys on your way. I'll send you to 14 News at 10 for all the latest news and weather headlines. Until then, everybody, have a great rest of your evening and stay safe.